Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Anti-Hustle Method for Achieving Goals. My name is Sagan Morrow. I'm an anti-hustle productivity strategist and internationally board certified success coach. And I am going to be teaching this little mini training for you today. Now, I want to just pop up my contact information here. As we're going throughout today's little training, definitely ask questions as we're going through, pop them in the chat. I'll come in there and definitely afterwards I will go in and answer any questions that you might have. But also I really encourage you to take a little screenshot of this right now, of this slide. It has my email address, hello@saganmorrow.com, my Twitter and Instagram. I'm pretty active on those channels at Sagan Lives, so definitely reach out to me there. And also, as you can see there, I have some other productivity resources, which can be very helpful for achieving your goals. So I would recommend that you check those out as well. So again, I'm an anti-hustle productivity strategist. I have over a decade of experience in business, and I started out as a freelance writer and doing all these different types of things in my business, and it's really just grown from there. Primarily these days when I'm not teaching about, productivity and being an anti-hustle, using anti-hustle methodologies and that kind of thing. When I'm not teaching about those types of things in presentations like this, I am doing one-on-one coaching with solopreneurs, helping them with their businesses and ensuring that their businesses fully support their lifestyles. And I'm also teaching online courses, such as my signature program, Productivity Powerhouse. Now, one more thing before we dive into today's training is that I do have a free gift for you today. It is an accompanying workbook to supplement the concepts that you learned today. So stay tuned for that, and we'll drop the link below as well. Okay, now I'm going to stop. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for the stuff that I want to talk about today, and then I'll pop that contact slide up again at the end of our, in about 20 minutes, I'll do that. But I just wanted to, chat with you face to face for our little mini training today. So when we're talking about the anti-hustle method for achieving your goals, what I want to share with you are the 5 mistakes that you are making that are really preventing you from achieving your goals. If you are struggling to achieve your goals, or if you just want to make sure that you're really set up for success with achieving your goals, then this training is for you. We're going to go over the 5 mistakes that I see my clients make all the time, 5 mistakes that I myself have made, as well as the 5 fixes that will fix those mistakes so that you can really embody the anti-hustle method. So mistake number 1, we're just going to dive right in. Mistake number 1 is pushing through when something isn't working. Forcing yourself to do something, even though it's not quite working, but you're just like, I'm just going to plow right through it. I'm just going to keep pushing through. This will eventually work if I just keep on working harder, right? In this case, you are wasting your time and you are wasting your energy by refusing to take breaks, right? So tell me in the chat, do you tend to feel guilty about taking breaks? Are you at your work desk, right? And you're like, I'm really tired. I could really use a break right now, but I really shouldn't. I should really keep working because I haven't done everything I wanted to do. Do you ever feel guilty about that? Let me know in the chat. What happens here when you make this mistake of just forcing yourself to push through is that it leads to burnout. So this is really that toxic hustle culture, toxic productivity that we want to start to get away from. And what this does is it actually takes you further from achieving your goals because you no longer have the energy, the clarity, and the focus to really stay motivated and accountable and on track, right? So the fix for this mistake is to embrace anti-hustle productivity. So this is really rooted in energy management, right? This idea of the more energy that you have, the more that you can actually use your time really effectively. When you're really tired, it's going to take you that much longer to actually get anything done, right? Things are probably going to slip through the cracks. You might miss deadlines, all of that kind of thing. So when you're really good with your energy management, when you're paying attention to your energy levels, really honoring your need to take breaks from work and that kind of thing, then that's going to really support you in this. So anti-hustle productivity is the complete opposite of hustle culture, glorifying busy work, toxic productivity, all of those sorts of pieces. So that's our fix for this mistake. Rather than trying to push through and just keep working, keep hustling, instead, it's really about tuning inward, recognizing when you need to take a break, and really honoring your unique energy levels, especially, as throughout the day, different people have different energy levels throughout the week, different seasons of life, seasons of the year, our energy levels really shift. So making sure that you're tuning into that and honoring it. So mistake number 2 is when you are getting trapped by perfectionism and procrastination. Tell me in the chat, do you struggle with either perfectionism or procrastination or both? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. So it's really important here when we're talking about perfectionism and procrastination. I know that you're probably thinking like, oh, yes, I'm a perfectionist, right? Like it doesn't feel good. You might have some shame around it, but I want you to know that there is no shame in it. Okay, there's no shame in succumbing to perfectionism tendencies or procrastination tendencies. The problem becomes when we just see it as, oh, this is the way it is and I can't do anything about it. The other side of the problem is when you are trying to deal with your perfectionism and your procrastination without actually seeing it for what it is, which is a symptom. It is masking deeper root issues, okay? So perfectionism and procrastination are symptoms that are really very surface level. And what's happening here is that they are then holding you back from making great progress on your goals. If you try to deal with them, you're only putting band-aid solutions on the problem. So it's not actually going to last. It's not going to be effective, or else you just don't deal with them at all because you assume that there is no way to deal with them, right? So the fix here is viewing perfectionism and procrastination as information. Getting really curious about what they actually mean and what they are hiding at the root level, right? So really you can view them as these sort of signposts, these markers that are telling you, hey, there's something that you need to pay more attention to. There's something else that's going on here that is then coming to the surface and masquerading as perfectionism or procrastination, but it's not the real root issue. So what we want to do is shift from it being disempowering, right? Where you're just like, I can't do anything about it. It's just the way it is. This is shameful or embarrassing, right? We want to shift out of that by getting curious about it. What could it mean? And in doing so, it becomes more neutral. Then, as we're getting more and more curious, sort of questioning what could be beneath this, what could be beneath the surface level, what happens is it actually becomes useful because we're viewing it as information, right? We're seeing, okay, there is something underneath this, maybe something I didn't even realize was a problem for me. And then you can actually overcome it because once you know what the real problem is, which is not perfectionism or procrastination, those are just hiding the real problem. Once you know what the real problem is, then you can deal with it accordingly and actually deal with it properly rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on it, right? So here again, we're shifting from it being disempowering to it being neutral, to it being useful, to you being able to successfully overcome it because you are very capable of overcoming it, I promise you. All right, so that was mistake number 2 and the fix for it, right? So viewing perfectionism and procrastination as information rather than just that's the way it is. Now, mistake number 3 that you're probably making is never questioning the status quo. So let me know in the chat, do you enjoy all of the different activities and tasks that you are doing right now in your business? Do you love every aspect of your business? And do you love all of the different tasks that you're doing? Let me know in the chat. This idea of the status quo is really when, you're going along with things because it's the industry norm or the standard, rather than because you actually enjoy them or because they're actually something that you want to be doing in your business, right? You might be doing things because that's how they've always been done. You've always done it this way. You might assume that it's the only way to do it or it is the best way to do it. In this scenario, when you are doing things because it's industry norms or industry standards, kind of going through the motions, right? Doing things just because rather than with that sort of intention, what ends up happening is that you might make progress toward your goals, but you're not going to enjoy yourself along the way. And the other problem here is that you might end up working toward goals that you don't actually even want to achieve. You're working toward goals because that's what other people are doing in your industry. That's what your peers are doing. That's what society wants you to do. That's what your family wants you to do. But you don't actually want to achieve those goals. And that's not very fun, right? So the fix here is to start customizing everything in your business so that is much more enjoyable for you, so you actually love everything about your business and all of the different tasks that you're doing. And also ask yourself, is this true? So one of my clients recently, she was telling me that when I was asking her this question, is this true? This made a huge difference for her. And she was also like, ooh, this is hard. This is scary, because there was a lot of underlying things that she hadn't really dived into before. And so here, when you're asking yourself, is this true? You can apply it to things like, okay, well, if you're saying something like, my business structure needs to be this way because that's the best way to do it. Then take a step back, pause, and ask, is that true though? Right? So you can apply this to everything that you're doing in your business model, your pricing strategy, the services that you're offering, the ways of dealing with clients and customers, everything about your business. You can really ask yourself anytime that you think, oh, I need to do it this way. This is the only way to do it. This is the best way to do it, right? Any of those scenarios, ask yourself, is this true? And then from there, you might find that the answer reveals to you that it is not true. And then you can, again, do something about it. All right, so that was mistake number 3 of never questioning the status quo, and the fix, customizing everything, asking yourself, is this true? Mistake number 4 is overcomplicating everything. So tell me in the chat, does your business feel unwieldy? Like you're kind of just pulled in way too many different directions? Let me know in the chat. In this case, when you're overcomplicating everything, you might, come up with an idea for something and then just feel like you need to add a ton of bells and whistles to it, right? You might think that you need to do 20 other steps before that particular awesome idea of yours can ever happen. So then you just derail all of your plans. You're probably also constantly reinventing the wheel in this scenario. You're overcomplicating every possible aspect of your business. What happens here, bring it back again to achieving your goals, is that your goals are going to take longer and longer and longer to accomplish. So you set these goals for yourself, but then you overcomplicate a bunch of things along the way. And instead of being a timeline that's like this long, it ends up being a timeline that's huge, that ends up being super, super big. And it's just unnecessary because you're just unnecessarily overcomplicating things. So the fix here is to simplify. Simplify everything. Getting out of that trap of overcomplication. Here, what I really recommend that you do is a full audit of your task list. This is a really great spot to begin by simplifying. So in this case, take a look at all of your tasks that you have set for yourself and check in. What's actually contributing to your big goals? Everything on your task list, what's really contributing to your big goals? How much unnecessary busy work are you doing? Everything in your business, all of the tasks that you work on a monthly, weekly, daily, even hourly basis should contribute to your bigger goals. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or burned out, or if you're struggling to achieve your goals, then you are probably working on tasks that are not actually helping you. They are not actually serving you, right? It might make you feel like you're really busy all the time, but are you actually making progress like you want? So do that audit of your task list. See what can be cut. There are definitely tasks that you are doing right now that you need to remove. What if you cut your task list in half, right? You can probably cut half of your task list off your plate and really look at how can you then simplify from there, right? So that's a really good starting point when it comes to getting out of that particular mistake number 4 of overcomplicating. You can simplify by, again, beginning with a simple audit of your task list check in. Does everything connect back to your bigger goals? You can even break each task down into, really bite-sized sort of tasks, 15-minute activities to kind of look at, okay, how can I simplify this, or how can I break everything down even further? Mistake number 5 is designing your life to fit around your business. Let me know in the chat, tell me in the chat, are you satisfied with your work-life balance? I'm curious. In this scenario, if you are designing your entire life so that it fits around your business, your professional life, then what happens is you probably don't have a lot of time for family. You're probably constantly checking your email, right? Always on your phone, checking work tasks. You might have a schedule that doesn't actually give you room for freedom and flexibility. So is that what you really want from your business? In this scenario, what might happen, you're constantly prioritizing your business. What might happen is that you might hit your business goals, which is great, but you are not going to feel satisfied or fulfilled because you will not have achieved your personal goals. So the fix here is to do a thorough assessment and map out a very full, very comprehensive, actionable strategy to completely restructure your business systems, processes, your daily schedule, your services, products, business model, techniques, tactics, all of the things that you're doing so that everything about your business is really contributing to a healthy, delightful work-life balance so that it's truly supporting your personal lifestyle. When you are focusing on your personal goals first, then you can know exactly how your business should be structured in all aspects so that you can design a business that fully supports your personal goals, and so that all of the strategies that you are using, all of the techniques that you're using within your business are contributing to actually achieving your business goals as well. So when you start with your personal goals, your business goals can come out of that. And most people make this mistake of starting with their business goals and letting their personal goals fall by the wayside. All right, so tell me in the chat, what do you think about all of this? We went over 5 mistakes, 5 fixes. What do you think about all of this? And what's your biggest takeaway from what we just went over? I'm curious, so let me know in the chat. Okay, and then to recap what we talked about today, we went over the anti-hustle method for achieving your goals. And this is really rooted in number 1, energy management. Number 2, getting curious and using everything as information. Number 3, being highly strategic and very intentional in everything that you do. Number 4, simplifying and embracing ease in, again, everything that you do. And number 5, designing your business so that it fully supports your personal lifestyle, your personal life wants and needs, and both your current lifestyle and your ideal lifestyle. Start with your personal goals and then focus on your business goals. Restructure your business from there so that it really supports your personal life. Okay, now I'm going to just pop up that slide on the screen again with my contact information so you can, I think, yes, there we go. Okay, so that way you can connect with me if you have more questions after the fact. If you have questions about any of the stuff that we just talked about, definitely let me know, drop them in the chat. And otherwise, please feel free to shoot me an email afterwards if you have any questions, any comments, hello@saganrow.com. You can connect with me on Twitter or Instagram @SaganLives. And also, again, I do have the free gift for you. So I created for you a fillable workbook, the anti-hustle method for achieving goals, the workbook. And so it is really a beautiful accompaniment to this little mini training. It's a very wonderful resource for taking what you just learned today with those 5 mistakes and 5 fixes, and then being able to explore these kind of lessons to your own situation. So if you want to achieve your goals faster using anti-hustle methodologies, then you're going to love this workbook. It's going to be very helpful for you, very actionable to support you with implementing everything. So I will, again, share that link below. Now, I do have one more question that I want you to answer for me in the chat. What is one thing that you are going to take action on today as a result of watching this training? Just one thing. Again, we don't want to overcomplicate things, right? What is one thing that you're going to do to take action on this? Let me know in the chat, and I am looking forward to connecting with you there. All right, thank you so much for joining me today for the anti-hustle method for achieving goals. You totally have it within you to achieve the goals that you want. The anti-hustle method is such a beautiful way to achieve your desired goals. I know that you can do this. You are fully capable, and I'm so excited to see how you implement this in your own life and business.